Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I want to share with you my favorite products that I wish I knew about sooner, the things that I've tried that have become absolute favorites that I wish someone had just made this video for me and told me that these are awesome products so I didn't waste money on any other things. So if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and get started. First off, I have to talk about the About Face The Performer Foundation. Obviously, foundation is very personal. This has just been my absolute favorite since it came out. This is a new one that I just repurchased since I ran out of my other one. This also is like relatively affordable. It's like a mid-range foundation. I believe it's $22. Sometimes About Face has sales on their website. It's sensitive skin friendly for my skin. It works really well. It's thin, it's beautiful, it's what I have on my face now, and almost every time I do my makeup, I'm wearing this foundation. I use the shade F1 Neutral. I also mix in a little bit of the F2 Olive shade. Neither of these match me perfectly, but that's usually just the name of the game for me. But like formula-wise, if you love a thin, natural looking foundation, never enhances texture, feels lightweight, like it just always feels nice. This one is so good. No matter what my skin is doing, either if it's oily, if it's acting up and being a bit dry, I feel like it's just so versatile and literally just the perfect everyday foundation. I would also love to know in the comments below if you have tried this based off of my recommendation or just in general. What do you think of this foundation? Are you loving it as much as I am? I hope you are, and I'm just not like the solo one here. Next for base, another tried and true favorite. When I find a good base product, I will just use that, and I will try other things, but usually it's hard to live up to my favorite at the moment. And I have those favorites for quite a long time, usually until they get discontinued, or maybe I do find something better, but the HAUS Labs Concealer, absolute best. I have the shade Fair Golden. Really picky about base products and concealer. This is really a crease resistant concealer. Now, some concealers will claim to be crease proof, but if you have lines under your eyes or rounder eyes like me and you do just have natural folds under your eyes, product is going to get in them. So it's not like you can erase that from your face, right? But a crease resistant concealer is something that's not going to settle as easily, and when you set it down, it's just very, like, it does have a flexibility, so it doesn't settle as much, and it just looks a lot smoother than almost any other concealer that I've tried. So this is a tried and true product as well that I absolutely love from HAUS Labs. For powder, this is a formula that's newer to me, but I wish I knew about sooner. It's so good. It's the only powder I reach for now because it just, nothing compares to how smooth and beautiful this looks on the skin, and I love that it has different shades as well. It is the FLORASIS loose powder version. They do also have a pressed powder, which I think is nice as well, but this for the under eyes has been awesome. This is the green shade. It hasn't been on their site for a while, I have to check, but I do also have the lavender and peach. These are amazing for fair skin or olive skin, this green shade specifically. It's really nice and minty because they're not too pigmented. They're very light. They don't deepen my under eyes or my face in any way, which a lot of other powders do. So when I find something that is so smoothing and beautiful and lightweight like this product and doesn't deepen my face, it's an automatic favorite. I believe this has like silk powder in it and just really sort of luxurious skincare-esque ingredients. And you can tell when you put it on. I have this on today. This with the HAUS Labs Concealer and the About Face Foundation is my go-to for a super smooth, perfected looking base. For bronzer, I had to give a shout out to the RMS Beauty Beachwalk Betty Hydra bronzer. You know, I love their Hydra blushes as well. So when the bronzer came out, just seemed like such a natural hit, and they did such a good job with this shade. It is definitely like a slightly warm-esque bronzer. Another product I do have on my face today and almost every day, but it doesn't pull orange. It just has this really neutral, like sandy kind of just beautiful texture and finish. It really does make your skin look pretty and glowy. You like to use powders like I do, usually over creams, but you still want that sort of cream glow. These are so good, and this is such a great one for fair skin. And while we're on the RMS topic, of course, I want to mention their blushes as well. I swear their blushes, like, did I even wear blush before I found these? I don't know what I was using, but since I've tried these, I can't go back. Bermuda Rose is one of my favorites. Again, with the bronzer, the formula is smooth and gorgeous and glowy. This one is a very cool purpley pink. If you want to see me swatch all of my RMS blushes, I do have a separate video on that, so I will have that link below. It's just awesome. I love these blushes so much. And if you're not already aware, I do have a 20% off code with RMS, so you can get 20% off their site. I will also have that link below so you don't have to pay the full price for these. Actually, hopping back over to FLORASIS, this has been one of my favorite brand discoveries of the year for sure. This blush from their, what is this? The Ode to Embroidery collection. Stunning packaging. The Ethereal Flush Smooth Powder Blush in Candy Clouds. Beautiful baby pink blush if you have pale skin. This is like a godsend. It's gorgeous. It does have a little bit of shimmer in there. It pulls mostly matte though. You can put this like really close to the under eyes. It's super brightening. You can put this like on your nose and your chin. It's just so beautiful. One of the most unique colors of blush that I have in the formula is so silky and smooth. It just feels like very luxurious, and it's just such a beautiful blush that I'm always reaching for. Also from that same collection, the Ode to Embroidery Gentle Waves Aqua Glow Highlighter in the shade Lilac Haze. This is the go-to. It's such a natural highlight. The shimmer in here is so extremely fine. This is also something I wear on my face now, and this like feels like a cream almost, but it is a cream to powder, I believe. So when you put it on the skin, it doesn't look powdery at all, which sometimes is really highlight's problem, right? Is it can accentuate texture and sit on the skin a little bit because it is reflecting so much light. This is just like the perfect solution to that problem, and this purple isn't too dark. It's so beautiful. Really makes me feel ethereal, and it's so gorgeous. For eye products, the Maybelline Super Lock Brow Gel I think is the best brow gel at the drugstore for sure. It's not a traditional brow glue that's like super thick and clumpy. I really dislike those. It's really lightweight. This one is actually basically empty. I like this little brush. It doesn't pick up too much product, and it just gives you that perfect like strong hold, but it doesn't look shiny or feel heavy or feel waxy. It's just one of those like perfect eyebrow products that is definitely a go-to. And I almost always reach for drugstore products for things like eyebrow gel because it is something you have to repurchase quite a lot. So it's awesome to find something that's not 30 bucks, you know? Speaking of Maybelline, also a drugstore mascara girl myself, and Maybelline specifically, these two formulas have been my go-to for since they came out essentially. The Sky High mascara came out before the Firework. This is an awesome formula. The burgundy color is so pretty. I have it on today. It enhances blue and green eyes so well. It's stunning. This one is more of like a lengthening. It's not as like dramatic and clumpy as this one can be. Not that it's clumpy in a bad way, but the Firework one is definitely a little bit thicker. It has this bigger, chunkier wand compared to Sky High, which is a little bit more separated. So if you want a separated, longer look, Sky High is your girl. But if you like drama and thickening action, you would love the Firework version. I use the shade brownish black. I wish I had more of a brown shade that's like truly brown in this. That's my only critique, but these are awesome. And they wear well, of course. I feel like I don't even need to say that, but if a mascara flakes or smudges, I'm not going to use it. So these are definitely performance mascaras. A shimmer liner in my waterline has been one of my favorite makeup tricks that I've like added to my makeup routine that I can't do my makeup without doing since I figured it out, and I love these two products for it. The ColourPop Calabasas Cream Gel Liner is a shimmery light pink. I have this one on my waterline today. And also the NYX Epic Wear liners, they have a lot more metallic shades in this formula, but neither of these run off or like smudge or wear off the waterline, which I think is actually pretty hard to find. Like even some MAC eyeliners I've tried, they literally just disappear off the waterline. These ones do not. They're so long wearing and beautiful, and also great affordable options, so we love that. Moving along to eyeshadow, the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer. You do not need an expensive eye primer. This one is so good. It's a matte formula. It has a slight bit of color, but it doesn't like turn yellow or anything weird. I believe they have repackaged this now, but it's so good, and it just really does prevent your shadow from creasing. I do have oily lids. It's a big problem of mine, so this one is really tried and true, tested and put to the test. That's the same thing as tested. You know what I'm saying? It's just really great. For eyeshadow, I have a more pricey version and a more affordable version, starting with Natasha Denona eyeshadows. Now this is the I Need a Nude palette shell, but inside I kind of mixed my own palette, which is a combination of the I Need a Nude palette and the Xenon palette. Most of these shades are from the I Need a Nude palette, besides these three on the top, the shimmery white and the shimmery silver, which are from the Xenon palette. And I do use those a ton. I love both of these palettes, but it kind of just depends what you like to wear. If you like something a bit more frostier and silver, you might like the Xenon, but overall the I Need a Nude has a lot of really wearable neutrals. Again, I have videos on both of those if you want to see them in depth, but the formulas are amazing. Oh, I need to point out these, I don't know the name of this formula. It's what I have on my lids today. They give you sort of like a wet glossy effect, and they're just some of my most used shimmers. They give an effect that is like unlike any other eyeshadow that I've tried, and they do last. The shimmer and like glitter is so smooth. It's just like the perfect everyday type of like shine without seeming glittery. It's just so beautiful. And then for the affordable version, the ColourPop Aurora Struck palette, I really like Stone Cold Fox, which is the same size as this, but this one I think is a lot more of my alley actually. It has a lot more colors, but in these very pastel tones, which is perfect if you have pale skin and you want to wear like something that has more color to it, but in a very like toned down way. Like I like to wear a very pastel pink or blue. They seem like bright and dramatic, but on the eyes they're beautiful. Obviously these darker shades are, but usually I will use those as liners and stay sort of on the, it's actually the top of the palette there for the lid shade. You get a really nice mix of formulas in the ColourPop palettes, which I love. There's not any that are really like the NATASHA ones, but this is such a good affordable palette for like, you know, you get everything you need in one. Let's talk about lips. I was obsessed with the Lime Crime Topaz lip liner that got discontinued. RIP to that one. Then also found this more affordable version. Of course, it's ColourPop Cool BFF. Mine is getting so tiny. This is my everyday go-to lip liner. It pulls really natural. It's like a taupey pink. If you watch like any of my videos, you'll see this on my lips for the most part, except for today. Kind of rare that I'm not wearing it. It's either this or my NYX Line Loud, which is the one I'm wearing. But it's just so perfect. It goes with everything. I like the formula. It's not super long wearing. It's more of a creamy formula. But either way, to find a great shade that doesn't pull warm orange on fair olive skin is like, it's so rare that when I find one, I cling to it. So, you know I love this. And then sort of the lipstick version of that lip liner, the MAC Viva Glam 2, they have renamed this and it's in new packaging now, but they do still have the shade. This is like the perfect everyday muted mauve pink. It's so perfect with Cool BFF. If you want just like that everyday go-to nude lipstick that doesn't pull warm, it also doesn't pull too like pink. It's just really a great pinky neutral. I know I just said it's not pink, but it has that, you know, hint of pink, so it's not totally grayish looking. This one is the bomb. And if you check out any of my cool tone lip swatches guide, I do have swatches and like in-depth comparisons with like this cool tone lip combo and all of my other favorites. Also had to mention the Naturium Phyto Glow lip balms. These are like the perfect everyday go-to natural tinted lip balm. I have Jam here, I have Camellia here. I also did just recently do a swatch video of all of the shades of these that I own, and they're just perfect. They're like a thicker balm. I'm not really a fan of like lip oils because they kind of just wear off my lips too quickly, and with Invisalign I need something like a little bit thicker and stickier almost, and they're just so good. They are moisturizing and I like the array of shades that they have, so I love these. Now this lip product I actually just tried, but it's so good. I'm like, I wish I tried it sooner, so I want to talk about it now. The Revlon Super Lustrous Glimmer Glosses. This is a glitter gloss. It has so much glitter in it, but it's ultra fine glitter. I have it on my lips today, so it's kind of like a natural-ish kind of like glitter gloss. It's not heavily scented, and this shade Lavender Lust has the most pretty like cool toned shimmer in it, but it doesn't really have a lot of like blue or purple, so it doesn't pull too much that way. It's just like perfect. The packaging is really pretty, and it was just like a surprise hit. So if, yeah, you see these out at Ulta or whatever, I definitely recommend grabbing one. And they are a very smooth, non-sticky formula as well, with a nice big doe foot applicator, and you don't feel the grit or the grain of the glitter either. So needed to give a shout out to the e.l.f. plumping glosses. I don't know how long these were around for before I tried them, but I'm pretty sure for quite a while before I ended up picking some of them up. These are actually the older versions. They have ones that have like a thicker doe foot now, which are really great. I do have one of those in my bag, but I have the shade Mauve Lady. We have Sparkling Rosé, and this is from the Jennifer Coolidge collab, which is no longer available. They have such pretty cool tone pink, shimmery shades, non-shimmery shades. They're so affordable, and they are a slightly more sticky formula, but like not too annoying. They just have that perfect amount of pigment, and they do not feel like they cost this much, right? They feel really luxurious, and even the packaging is nice. So really love these from e.l.f. I want to include some skincare in this video as well because my skin has been really sensitive lately. So I found products that truly do not irritate it and have been making my skin look so much glowier and healthier. It's always such a good way to judge a skincare product, is when your skin's at its worst, does it actually help it? Does it stay the same, or does it make it worse? So I first want to mention this serum from Biossance. This is the Squalane and Copper Peptide Rapid Plumping Serum. The squalane that's in Biossance products, I love that they include that. It's a really nourishing type of oil that doesn't feel too heavy. So it's this has instant hydration with hyaluronic acid and paracress. So they use that hyaluronic acid, but they do include a lot of like herbal ingredients. And this has like a blue color to it with those peptides in there. It actually matches my background. It just feels so soothing. It's also plant-derived squalene, by the way, if you didn't know. Usually squalene comes from sharks, I believe, so there's also a plant-derived version. But this is just so good and soothing and really helps my skin recover if I'm having any issues, which I have been having a lot, so this is such a nice one. And to go along with that, I've actually been doing this routine, so I'll mention all these products together. Once I do that product, I will then layer on the Biossance Squalene and Vitamin C Rose Oil. This is new to me. I've become absolutely obsessed with it though. It has a very thin, lightweight texture. This under makeup is like incredible. It looks so smooth when you use it under makeup, and if you have more dry skin, like it just creates such a smooth base that's not too heavy. Sometimes with oils under makeup it can be too much, but this has been like crazy. I used this with the About Face foundation and I was like amazed by how much it actually made it look smoother. So this is just so good. Like I don't know what the heck kind of magic is in here, but it says visibly brighten and firm. Just a really nice moisturizing product that doesn't feel too heavy. And I have tried a lot of skincare, by the way, like probably more skincare than makeup, and these are actually like have stood out for me. And by the way, I really like using an oil like this because if you sometimes feel like moisturizer isn't enough, a product like this is such a really good option. And then the third in that trio, also from Biossance, is the Squalene and Ectotin Overnight Rescue. Those three together have been so good for my skin. So it replenishes your skin barrier and enhances repair. I feel like that's why I've been loving it so much. It's like protective and healing and exactly what I need. I've had to stop using like anything exfoliating just until my skin calms down, and these have been helping so much. So this is a bit of a thicker like texture. You use this as the last step of your skincare routine, sort of seal everything in. So I do use this after the oil, and you really only need a tiny amount of this as well. I've tried a lot of these like overnight kind of masks. Some of them feel too heavy or like have too much of a silicone feeling. This one is so good. And by the way, their products do have like a naturally kind of good scent. Nothing seems like overly scented though, so this is so nice. Now, if I feel like in the morning I don't necessarily want to have as much moisture as this oil gives me, I will also reach for these The People Superfood Air Whip Moisture Cream. This I've been using for a really long time, since I like first found out about this brand. This is a beautiful lightweight gel moisturizer. I really like the scent of this. I do wish it wasn't as scented though. I feel like when I first tried this, it didn't seem that scented, and now to me it does seem a little bit like heavily scented. So not super heavy, like it's still a natural scent, but it's there. This has kale, spinach, and hyaluronic acid. If you have more oily skin, you would love this product. It goes beautifully under makeup, it doesn't pill, and it just gives you like a nice plumpness to work with. And then an additional step in my night routine, usually mixed in with this oil from Biossance, are these little oils from Audacité. Now, if you've never heard of these are their little serum concentrates. So they're these little vials of really concentrated oils that you can use on your own to spot treat, or you can mix them in with your products. So I have 3 different versions here, and the first one is black cumin and cajeput, which is for pimples, and these are like essential oil based essentially, or naturally derived sort of treatments. And then we also have the serum concentrate for dark spots, which is papaya and geranium. And then I also have the clogged pores one, which is jojoba and lavender. So you would use a couple drops of these to mix in. I've been loving these, again, like I've been saying, because my skin has been so sensitive. I haven't been able to use like exfoliating products, and I'm not that like sensitive to essential oils, so these have been great to just mix in if I feel like I'm getting some breakouts, or I want to do like the clogged pores or dark spots. I'm still able to treat those things, and these last forever. They're tiny little bottles, but you only need like little drops. I will usually mix the dark spots and clogged pores one in with my moisturizer, but I like the Cage Put one for pimples. You see just like right on spots. It's really good. Like, it will rapidly bring your pimple to the surface, so be prepared for that. But these are so good, and they do also have some other options. And then finally, this I think is my favorite perfume I've ever tried. First off, I love Josh Rosebrook skincare. The scent of their skincare has been my favorite, and they've also been like a staple. Like, when I first started my social media, I tried their brand and was like immediately in love with them, and they make such beautiful products. So they came out with this perfume. I think they had one earlier that got discontinued or something, and then they came out with this one. It's called Ethereal, and this is relatively new to me, and like I have been going through this. I've been using it every day. It's definitely a warm, comforting scent, but not in a vanilla way. I'm not really a huge fan of like sweet or vanilla perfumes. They seem like a little bit much on me. They don't really meld with my body chemistry that well. This one has a bit more of that like smokiness, a little patchouli. Like, it's just that perfect kind of like mysterious scent. It's definitely unisex. Like, it's beautiful. And it also doesn't like irritate my throat or my eyes, which a lot of perfumes can do, because it is a very just like well-crafted, botanically based kind of scent. And it starts off like a little brighter, and then when it like warms up to your skin, it's so good. Like, it's probably kind of pricey just based off of what it's made of, but it is so beautiful. I really recommend trying it out. If you'd like, just read the notes and see if you'd like it. Well, those are all the products that I wish I knew about sooner. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm also gonna pop another one of my videos on the screen here so we could keep hanging out. So I will see you over in this one. Bye.